put down the controller. This is literally just to get you some information of how real life actually works versus what you think it does in your mind. Okay, literally, a lot of people really think that game girls are based off literally, hey shorty, yada, this and that, and literally, and other guys think it's like, hey, hello, this and that, when really it's just simple. Instead of literally, it's a very simple concept. Instead of literally trying to charm her, why don't you just state what's going on? This is based off everything that has to do with why media praises hip hop and why literally people can get away with short definitions. Do you say rappers get away with short definitions of songs? No. You see, there's a difference between street smarts and actual literature, and people get that confused all the time. And the real reason why I want to do it is a lot of people expect the same awards that you get on TV doing the same shit. When in reality, if you treat somebody like shit, if you're a bully, you're not going to get a lot of girls. Sorry, that's the reality of it. I've been in that situation where literally, I was the most popular guy in school based off what I wanted to do, based off dancing, and I was still kind of popular after anime. I was known for having good music. I was known for having this and that. Yet they tried to force me into gang activity, literally. And when I did get into a fight right after school, the same girl who already showed me interest asked me, literally, I was about to fight because they trapped me in a situation. I already got suspended, and literally, I didn't want to show up, but they bribed me with weed saying, yo, like, if you come here, we can smoke a blunt. And literally, and then I come there and they said, oh, we already smoked it already. But this guy wants to fight you. Literally, he was trying to strip my reputation. I'm like, dude, I just got suspended. I don't want to fight. And I was already there. So literally what happened is, literally, I had to fight that dude because they trapped me in that situation. And that same girl who already accepted me for being nice, I was about to fight. And she went up to me and said, Eris, why are you doing this? Girls don't work that way, dude. Treating people the way you want to be treated, literally. You don't understand, like, literally. What street smarts literally gets it fucked up is like literally how the mind translates is like a baby. You have to literally tell them something like it's their first time hearing it. What street smarts is they're constantly in their comfort zone. They constantly hang around the same people. So the moment they have to deal with someone different, they don't know how to deal with them. And it's a very one-dimensional. They're really selling themselves short when it's street smarts and nothing else. And street smarts is good for like natural instincts and stuff because literally it shows you literally what's naturally going through people's heads and stuff like that, but it's not. When we're influenced by mainstream society, when we're influenced by actual intelligence, when we actually have to go through actual courses versus somebody who dropped out, they're going to see right past through street smarts. Because they're going to take out, literally, the style, they got to do everything, literally. What street smarts people think is clever is really retarded to actual regular people. Like, literally, a street smart guy will literally go up to a girl with the same freaking delivery as me when I try to ask a girl for a burrito while I just said pizza, but they're gonna cover it up with swag. He's like, hey, let me get a slice of that burrito and this and that. That's literally how gangsters think and this and that. Literally, they're gonna come with all the fucking swag and stuff like that. We're forgetting about the fact, and the girls just gonna state, why can't you just get your own money? This is how gangsters think every single fucking day because they fall for delivery. They actually buy the pen somebody's trying to sell them instead of going to the dollar store and buy a pen. This is why street smarts isn't that necessary. You know what Mr. Pleasure told me? Street smarts is only necessary if you plan to live on the streets. But if you plan to actually get a career for yourself, street smarts is the exact opposite thing you want to be. He didn't deny that it has its benefits, but it only has its benefits in primitive areas. You have to understand that. Literally. You can't take style over fact forever because that only works on a little kid. That's just an advertisement. You're trying to get a kid to buy a toy when you be street smart. That's not good. That's gonna work for little teenagers and shit who buy junk food, who listen to rap, literally freaking go to a liquor store right after school and stuff like that. Don't even do their homework and hang out with gang members right after, literally. You don't understand. You're just getting high and eating snacks. Just like a little kid is coming home watching cartoons and eating snacks. You're literally just listening to rap and eating snacks. That's why street smarts isn't that important. What inspired me to make this video wasn't really street smarts, but it was the fact that a lot of people have this misconception that literally street smarts is 1,000 times more important to book smarts, because if you're not street smart, you can't literally talk to a girl and stuff like that. And you can't. And I'm gonna agree with that, like 85%. Do you know why? Because you have to get past a shit test. When you get past a shit test, you have to be street smart. You have to be able to put two and two together. But here's the thing. You can't do right without doing wrong. You can't always stay in one lane. You can't be a Peter thinking you're right all the time just because you do research or out living through it. Yeah, I fucked up in the past. You can't be super opinionated just because you do research. Like me, back when literally I was hanging out with my older brothers, when all they were doing was playing 2K, and literally I was literally just playing Dragon Ball Z all the time, and then I would whoop their ass in every single Dragon Ball Z game. But then literally the situation says it clear, nigga, that's the only game you fucking play. Of course you're gonna beat their ass. Literally, yeah, I don't see you making jokes, I don't see you being social, I don't see you being human. Literally, and this and that. Like literally, they're funny, they play sports. Literally, they're doing everything that you can't do, and you literally think that you're so hard. So you think that that same guy who is gonna literally only be good at one thing is going to beat those other guys who are good at all those other things his whole life. No, that guy had to learn skill. He had to do a whole lot of other shit. You can't literally keep on playing Tekken each and forever and everybody's playing Call of Duty. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. And I grew up that way and shit like that. I'm gonna make another video called Me and My Brother's Conflict Sophomore Year. My brother kept on trying to make me play Call of Duty over and over again. All I wanted to do was play Ultimate Ninja Storm. Literally, I was living the ultimate oxymoron. My brother had 2K, Call of Duty, literally all these other games and shit, and I only played Ultimate Ninja Storm, and literally, it was based off the only thing I liked, anime. And they kept on making fun of me, calling me special ed and shit. So I know Street Smarts has its benefits, but you know what's fucked up about that? He's trying to justify a game because it's based off a more popular subject, saying that it's still not a video game. And that's where gangsters get fucked up. Gangsters literally think that literally, yeah, there's something that supports them, but there's something bigger in mind. Do you understand? It is hella gay to only like anime games where your brother is playing all this shit, but then that's what makes him a bigger nerd. And you have to understand that. And a lot of people put that rule over your head, and then my brother try to make an excuse. Well, maybe if you were to play sports like I told you when you were younger, you wouldn't have all this trouble playing Call of Duty and shit. But then you recognize, Lily, you know what I came at him with? I'm like, dude, you're not the best at Call of Duty. There are little kids that can beat you in their fucking sleep, Lily. I don't see what's the point of you trying to compete in a game so reasonable when there are little kids who can nuke you in an instant. Lily, you don't understand that. And that is, Lily, what a gangster Lily fails to realize and shit. You don't understand that, Lily. You're not actually freaking competing. You have the advantage and shit. Even though my brother is competing, he's putting himself in a bad situation. Do you understand? You see how my brother covered all this shit? Oh, my shit revolves around mainstream. My shit is this and that. It's still just a video game. You know, that's the gangster has the same fucking formula where it comes to everything in life, and he doesn't understand that he's still doing wrong. He's like, it doesn't matter if you do this, it doesn't matter if you do that. No matter how heavy you mask it, you're still doing wrong, and that's where the gangster gets his problem. And he thinks that karma never freaking exists. And so what inspired me to make this video, and so people won't come at me like, oh, you talk about this nigga a lot. What inspired me to make this video was basically the difference between Layla and Livingstone. So Livingstone tried to get at my girl over and over and over again, but I didn't care because I used to be as ignorant as him. I used to literally, a girl used to tell me no over and over and over again, and I used to literally even knock on her door literally after she already explained it, and then literally she already said like, step your game up. But you know, I'm trying to tell you, it's shit like that. There was a difference between me and Livingstone. See, Lily, that girl gave me hope. Layla gave him no hope. Layla straight up told him he had no chance in the universe. And you all understand, like, I want to make this the biggest confession. Livingstone does not like Layla. He doesn't like her at all. He doesn't. He doesn't like her more than me. And I'm being 100% serious. You know what Livingstone does? This is for anybody who's listening. This is a very complex story. Do you know why Livingstone kept on getting at Layla? It wasn't the fact that Sue was fine. It wasn't the fact that Lily, he had a fetish for Afghan girls. It wasn't a fetish for this and that. Do you know what it really was? It was his hatred towards me. That's what made him kept on getting at Layla. Humans are very freaking complex. And Lily, what he does is, he Lily is mad that I was successful when he used to pick on me all the time. And so Lily, and he acts thirsty. So Lily, he's not actually thirsty. He blames Layla for why he can't live in his fantasy world. It has nothing to do with the way Layla looks. It has nothing to do with this and that. What Livingstone does is literally, he pretends to be a piece of meat when he knows he's an intellectual. So what he does is literally freaking, it's not the fact that he wants Layla so much. He uses that as an example to escape his own bullshit. Literally what he does is he doesn't live up to his moral compass, and then he blames it on Layla. That's what it is, literally. He's scared of the fact that literally he can never bow me because he ruined his reputation. He can never literally live up to the lie that he sold himself a whole long time ago. So literally what he does is he pretends that he's thirsty, but he's really analyzing all the analytical shit, how much better I am at real life. But then he blames it on Layla. Layla is the last thing on his mind, but that's his defense mechanism. Literally, he knows all this intellectual shit is going on. He's knowing all the smart shit is going on, and that's what kills him. So literally, in terms of relief, he blames it on Layla. It's not about sex, it's not about girls, it's the fact that I'm burying him at life, and he blames it on Layla. Layla has nothing to do with it, I swear, and this is how he thinks. This is why people don't understand him. He wants to be intellectual like me. He wants to be this and that. He wants to get away with being a nice person like me, but he already fucked his life up. Do you understand that? It's not Layla. He uses Layla as an excuse when people call him out on his bullshit. Lily. And he's like to say, don't blame me, I'm just thirsty. Well, you're smart enough to make all these plans and shit like that. And Lily, that's the worst thing ever. It has nothing to do with her sex appeal. It's 100% about me being better than him in real life. And he uses that as an example. So where did I get this? What does this have to do with street smarts? The real reason why he hates my relationship with Layla is so he can get away with the same thing again. Getting a popular sheet to get a result. So here's how it all happened. He wanted to get with Layla all because they made Dr. Stone. And he knows they made Dr. Stone for me and him. And then he likes to pretend that we don't have custom anime. So he uses all that as an excuse. You have to understand. When he gets at Layla, he expected everything to be on TV. Hey, I'm the popular guy Chip Scarlett on TV. He's like, hey, yeah, I'm the reason we have Dr. Stone. You should go out with me. No, she's not going out with you. You know I have way more sex appeal. You know I'm better at you in every single aspect of life. And you think that just because you're the reason we have Dr. Stone and me, like, you think just because you are the reason we have Dr. Stone is that you think you can get with Layla's pants. And that is the thing with street smarts. Gangsters think the exact same way as Stone. Oh, just because look, I'm a famous rapper, I can get your pants. Just because I'm famous, I can get your pants. This and that. The whole reason why it tore the part where it inspired me to make this video isn't about really him and Layla. It's the fact that what's making him cry isn't the fact that he can't get with Layla, is that he wants to get away with the same thing again. He wants to get away with this receipt on paper again. He wants to get away with his ranking in the ARL on paper again. He wants to get away with being full of shit in real life, with being a celebrity on paper again. That is why he blames Layla for everything. He wants things to go back to his fantasy where he can get away with really just being famous and being shitty at real life. That is Livingstone's problem. But that's also a gangster's problem. You have to understand that. He's not thirsty because he knows I deserve everything I earn, and that's what tears him apart. I actually earn in life, and he tries to flash the receipt saying I did this and that, and it doesn't work because he actually has to live life. That is what's horrible about Livingstone. That's what's horrible about a gangster, Lily. I want to take my past reputation when I was in high school and I was dominating shit and think I can get a girl who wants a guy with a car, a college degree, literally already a house, already having everything set for him, somebody who already has stability. When you're constantly on the run, a gangster has the same problem as Livingstone. That's the realest thing. That's what breaks his heart the most. It's not the fact that Layla is fine. It's not the fact that this, that. It's the fact that he wants to get away with a fantasy again, like he's been getting away this whole year. But Lily, I mean all those years. But Lily, you don't understand. That is the concept, Lily. And you don't know how hard it is. He tries to sell me this dream that, Lily, I'm a nigga and stuff like that. I got shit to nigga away because I didn't go to community college. I got into a so-called connection and shit like that. And Lily, that is his biggest fucking downfall. I already earned it in your league, and I just went out to a bigger one that gave me credit. And that's what tears him apart every single fucking day. I'm sorry, but Layla isn't gonna like you just because of Dr. Stone. I'm sorry. So, do you want to know the actual truth about Dr. Stone? Like the Easter egg behind Dr. Stone? Lily, I'm not going to tell you the truth. I know a whole lot behind the scenes about the anime, but why do we have Livingstone as an example in Dr. Stone? No, Senku isn't really based on Livingstone. It's based off who Livingstone pretends to be. What he does is he pretends to go to college and shit like that, where he's really stalking people 24/7 on the computer and shit. He's really hacking people. He's really doing this and that. So Senku is really kind of like me. Senku is literally based on how smart I am and how I thought Stone was smart. That's the joke behind Senku. Because Livingstone used to rock a high top. So Senku's character design is based off me and him, and also some Easter eggs off our true, but really he is more of an alchemy. Like the more of a reference is actual alchemy. That's what Senku is based off of. The character design, however, in the Easter egg is literally just a spin-off of how Stone thought he was smart, but literally this is how smart I am. He pretends to be as smart as me, but it never actually turns out that way. And that really is the reality. So Dr. Stone isn't really made for him. It's made to clown on him. But Dr. Stone also references like how anime used to be original and shit like that. That's why it came at a time when there was still kind of cringe out there. Dr. Stone came at a cringy time. Why wasn't Dr. Stone on the air where Avatar The Last Airbender was on the air? Why wasn't Dr. Stone literally on the air where Zatch Bell was on the air? Because it was made to say that we live in a privileged time. That's why they went back in time in Dr. Stone, basically. Dr. Stone, literally, the message behind that is literally what this world turned into and why it was supposed to be aired at a different time. That's why it was on the same track as Aruma. Aruma, like, broke up to Demon School. Aruma-kun was actually made for Lily to be on something like Kids WB. Is Lily, that's why they all feel like old animes. Dr. Stone, Lily, Aruma, why do you feel like old animes? Is to literally show you that we haven't evolved and what would happen if it was on the same track. Why was Dr. Stone the only original anime with a whole bunch of cringe? You have to understand that. So that's one Easter egg of Dr. Stone. If you want to know more, I'll elaborate a little bit more about what I do know about the anime, you know, versus like Lily, what's original about it and what they did take in Lily. But it was meant to bring a message. Like, this is meant to literally bring back the old feel at Boruto. Like, why does this feel like we're watching Toonami, but literally the substance is lacking? How come it's not as epic as old Toonami, but it's literally bringing back the old feel of Toonami? And specifically for that very reason. We couldn't get away with, like, literally putting DBZ on the air anymore because kids couldn't control themselves, so they needed something like Dr. Stone. So why do we have something like Zatch Bell Drip, but we have no, Zatch Bell Substance? Why do we have a show that looks like Avatar: The Last Airbender with no action? You have to understand that. That's one Easter egg I know about Dr. Stone as well. So this isn't based off this and that. That's the extra thing I threw in, but that's for a very good reason. But this is something you have to realize, like, this is where people get messed up, because a whole lot of people have this fantasy, they literally, just because you're famous that you can do a whole lot. I actually networked with these people that get no pussy with their rappers on paper. I know this and that, and so literally, when I literally call Lily Stone out as bullshit, he knows it's true already, and he uses it as reverse psychology, and literally, that's what throws my apart every day. He literally wants to go back to the fact where I can ignore everything, I can just focus on my thing on paper. That's what leads you astray, that's why literally, he's a little kid. He doesn't have to face his problems ever. So when he does have to face his problems, it's over. Really don't like talking about this, but it's a very interesting topic. This will probably be the last time I reference him in a video for a while, but that is the truth. Because literally, it's not about this, it's not about that. It's literally the fact that people just like him want to go back. I'm going to make another video about how people who used to think like him want to go back their ways. Like, literally, a lot of people have been getting away with that for the past decade. Gangsters, a whole lot of people, they want to go back to a rape society where we can get away with this and that. This is the whole reason why women got protected in society. We got out of hand with the LGBT. We got out of hand, literally. It's not about gay marriage. It's about, literally, gay rights. It's literally freaking... Like, I feel like gays should be allowed, but I don't feel like they should be, like, amongst society. I feel like they should have their own society, if you ask me, because that's how it used to be. Gays used to keep that shit low-key. Now they're advertising, oh, we should have equal rights and this and that. Well, literally, they used to keep it on the low-key. Like, literally, it wasn't a fucking thing. It wasn't a freaking carnival. And, like, literally, gays could be fucking gays and freaking crazy shit like that, literally. And here's the thing. I'm going to make another video on how people got away with his past. Well, got away with just being famous. A lot of people just want to get away with really the paper shit without it on paper. Like the girls in high school that rejected me, they want to get away with saying that I'm a little kid, that I throw temper tantrums when I'm a kid, overthrow with hormones, and they should have already gave me the pussy, especially since how good I look. And then they're trying to put this in match and think, oh, that's out of context. You have to earn it. You have to have a personality. You do not disagree with Chip Skylark is right next to you, because we're all humans and we see the same thing every single day. It's in your muscle memory that I'm finding. You're rejecting it. You're putting all this work in trying to bring me down, but you're not putting all this work in trying to suck my dick. That's the reality of the situation. That's when you can bring TV, because they're acting like a cartoon rejecting you. That's when complexity comes in. And an OG would tell you the same thing right away. And that's where street smart people get the game up. Like, nigga, you haven't earned street cred. Nigga, you haven't earned this and that. Like, you are never going to earn anything that's equivalent to my green eyes. I'm sorry. And that's all from having imaginary standards. And that's a whole lot of people want to get away with saying that over and over and over again. You can't get away with knowing that you're horny forever, girl. And people wanted to go back to that day where they can get away with bullshit like that and use literal definitions on paper of why you're rejecting the finest fucking guy in school. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Lily, I'm going to make a more video elaborating on that one. That's going to be another video for the future about Lily freaking how they want to go back to those shitty paper definitions. That's going to be another video, but this is the problem with street smarts.